Once there lived a great monk whose name was Arahant Sariputta. He was well known for his wisdom, his patience, and moreover, his kindness. Rumors spread among the people saying that no one can make Arahant Sariputta angry. No matter how bad the situation is, Arahant Sariputta will never get angry with people. So, one man decided to check him out whether he can make him angry. So what he did was, in one morning, when Arahant Sariputta was walking around the street, begging for alms, he went behind him and summoning up all the strength in his body, he gave a big blow to his back. Arahant Sariputta thrown forward and he fell off. Now this man was expecting an angry reaction from Arahant Sariputta. But instead, Arahant Sariputta stood up, turned to man's side, and he smiled kindly at him, and he turned back and walked away. This man was shocked with amazement, and he realized that he has done a big mistake. Then this man went running to Arahant Sariputta and he fell on his knees in front of him and said, "Oh my dear sir, I have done a huge mistake. I dared to play with your unshakable patience. Please forgive me." Then Arahant Sariputta said, "You haven't done anything wrong to me. I forgave you right at the moment when you hit me. So there's nothing to forgive. And there's nothing to ask for forgiveness." Ladies and gentlemen, that is how the people with great mind dealt with anger. So, in the next time when someone hurts you, when someone hurts your feelings, never hate them, never hurt them. Don't stoop down to their level. Instead, smile confidently and kindly and walk away. And when you cannot change the situation and when you cannot walk away from people, make them a teacher where you can learn how to be patient in tough times and respond to them positively and in an assertive way. But we should never be angry with people, because when we become angry, we hurt ourselves more than others. So we need to forgive people. Not because they deserve our forgiveness, but because we deserve our peacefulness. And finally, keep this in your mind. When someone treats you badly, it tells something negative and bad about them, but it never tells anything bad about you. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to talk about loving kindness meditation. We are going to talk about what is loving kindness, what is loving kindness meditation, and also we are going to discuss about how to do this loving kindness meditation step by step. Coming right up. So first of all, what is loving kindness? There is a word that was used by the Buddha to describe loving kindness, and that is metta. Metta means the genuine friendship that we can build in our life for the others and also, most importantly, towards ourselves, right? When we become friendly with people, when we become friendly with ourselves, normally we don't get angry with ourselves and with others also. So the main reason that we need to practice the metta in our life to eradicate and to stay away from this anger that arises in our mind. So that is the main aim, that we practice the loving kindness meditation also. First of all, remember, metta or the loving kindness is not only a meditation. So many people think that when they think about loving kindness, they say, oh, it's a meditation. No, it's not only a meditation, but it is a virtue. What do you mean by a virtue? Virtue means a quality that you need to practice practically in your life, right? The metta should be in your body, in your bodily actions. The metta should be in your words when you speak, and also, the most importantly, the metta must be in your thoughts. So the reason why we practice loving kindness meditation or the metta bhavana is to cultivate and to develop more lovely and kind thoughts in our mind. When we get used to these lovely and kind thoughts, normally our bodily actions will be more peaceful and more kind, and our words will be more kind, and we can face many problems in this world successfully without getting angry also. That is why we practice love and kindness meditation. So, that is about loving kindness meditation. Our Supreme Buddha said, you need to practice these thoughts of love and kindness again and again. You need to use it oftenly. Normally when we use one kind of thoughts, maybe it is good or bad, right? Whatever it is, maybe suppose we use angry thoughts all the time. So there's a big probability that for us to get more and more angry. In the same way, if we practice love and kind thoughts, what will happen? We will be more peaceful, we will be more kind, and we will love people more and more. So that is why we need to generate and we need to cultivate these thoughts of loving kindness. So, loving kindness meditation is a great help for you to develop the thoughts of loving kindness. So, how to do this meditation? Well, there are certain phrases that you need to repeat in your mind while you're doing this meditation. Yes, you need to think in this meditation. There is no problem of thinking something during a meditation. So many people think that when they think about meditation, they think, no, you need to empty your mind. You should not think about anything. No, it's not like that. You can think about something, right? So, what you need to think is, you need to think about more lovely and kind and more compassionate thoughts in your mind. So, for a help and as a guidance, Supreme Buddha gave us some phrases that you need to repeat in your mind while doing this meditation. So what are these phrases? They are like this. So first of all, we start to spread, when we start to do the loving kindness meditation, first of all, we need to start to spread love and kindness towards ourselves. That is the main thing that we need to do, right? The loving kindness meditation is starting from directing loving kindness towards yourself first. Because without spreading and without giving love and kindness towards yourself, we cannot spread it to other people, right? First of all, you need to fill yourself with love and kindness, with your own love and kindness. Once you get fulfilled, once you overflow with love and kindness, then you can spread it to the other people, right? So first of all, we start by spreading loving kindness meditation towards ourselves. So what are the phrases and what are the things that you need to think in this meditation? First of all, think like this. May I be free from anger, right? First of all, the first step is, may I be free from anger. Why you need to think like this? Now, you need to wish yourself that I am not going to be angry with anyone. Because if you love yourself, you don't like to be angry inside, right? Now, when you get angry, you feel uncomfortable, right? It is a great danger for your life. So if you love yourself, normally what you do, you don't like to get angry. So you wish yourself, may I be free from anger. Second step, may I be free from ill will. What do you mean by ill will? Ill will means the thoughts of hurting others. Right? When you feel like hurting someone, you feel uncomfortable. You feel angry. You feel like something is boiling inside. Right? So, if you love yourself, you stay and you try as much as possible to stay away from these harmful thoughts. So, you wish to yourself, what? You need to wish, may I be free from ill will. Then, may I be free from jealousy. Right? You don't want to be jealous at someone. When you become jealous at someone, in that case also you feel uncomfortable. And it is more dangerous to your life. So what you, as a person who loves yourself, you wish to yourself that I'm not going to be jealous at someone. Right? Then you wish to yourself, may I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. Now when you wish these thoughts and when you wish to yourself, you need to mean it. And also, you need to feel it. Right? You need to spread and you need to direct the genuine love and kindness and compassion towards yourself. Remember, in the first place, when you spread the love and kindness to yourself, it is a wonderful feeling that you get. You feel so comfortable. When you mean it and when you feel it, you feel so comfortable and so peaceful. So that is what you need to do first. So may I be free from physical suffering, may I be free from mental suffering, and may I live in peace. May I live in peace. You need to wish to yourself. And then, may I live happily. That is the final thing you have to think. May I live happily. And finally you can repeat, may I live happily. May I live happily. When you wish it to yourself, trust me, you feel so much peaceful. And then after, in the second step, what you have to do, once you feel like you are fulfilled with your own love and kindness, you need to spread and you need to direct that same love and kindness to the people around you. Okay, so there are two ways that you can spread the love and kindness to the people around us. So we are going to talk about them in another separate video. So for now, we practice, and these are the phrases that we need to think in this meditation. Now, the loving kindness meditation falls under the samatha meditation, the meditations that gives us more peacefulness and tranquilizes our mind. So that is why it is such a cooling and a more pleasurable and more peaceful meditation. So when you do this, you will feel so much changed, and surely you will feel so much peaceful. So practice loving kindness meditation in your life and enjoy and experience a peaceful meditation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, let's talk about how to control our negative emotions and how to control our mind. Well, the nature of our mind is it always likes to wander in negative emotions and negative thoughts. Negative thoughts like anger, desire or lust, or then jealousy, maybe resentment. These are the negative thoughts that our mind likes to wander in. So how can we control it? Well, our great teacher Supreme Buddha introduced us a gradual training where you can practice this controlling of negative emotions or negative thoughts in your mind. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce them to you. So first and foremost, before getting into these steps, there is one thing that you have to practice, and there is one thing that you have to master, and that is awareness. If you are not aware of what you're thinking, if you are not mindful about what you're thinking, then you cannot control it. So you have to totally understand, and you have to totally be aware of what you're thinking. Okay? So whenever you become aware of what you're thinking, then you will have that power to control it. So here comes the first step. Buddha says, whenever you become aware of your mind is wandering in negative thoughts like anger or lustful thoughts or resentment or jealousy, the first thing is to shift your thought pattern to something wholesome. There are some wholesome thoughts in your mind which makes you peaceful. Maybe like thinking of something that you have done in the past, like maybe you helped someone. Whenever you think that thought, your mind becomes happy and peaceful. So what you're going to do is, whenever you become aware of your negative thoughts, we're going to shift our thought pattern to something that is wholesome, something that makes us peaceful. So that is the first thing that Buddha says. Shift your thoughts to wholesome thoughts. If that first step did not work out, then what you have to do, go for the next step. What is that? Buddha says, think about the disadvantages of thinking negative emotions, right? If you are constantly having angry thoughts, then you have to think, these thoughts are hurting myself and others. If I take actions according to these thoughts, it will hurt myself and the others. Remember, it may be a little thought of anger, but if it grow up, what will happen? It will be destructive. So what do you have to do? Think about the drawbacks or disadvantages of thinking these negative thoughts. Then, whenever you see these disadvantages, your mind will tend to stay away from these negative thoughts. Most of the time, we are not aware of these disadvantages. Okay? So what do you have to do? Think, if I keep on thinking these negative thoughts, it is not going to help me. It will disrupt my peacefulness. Right? That is the second step. Then as the third step, Buddha says, pay no mind, pay no attention. If the second step did not work out, go for the third step, to not to pay any attention to that thought. Right? See, whenever we give so much attention to something, maybe a thought, it grows again and again, it grows more, right? For an example, if you became angry with someone, and if you keep thinking about him again and again and becoming angry, that anger will grow more and more. So what do you have to do? We have to let the thought be a thought without paying much attention, right? When you just stay away from giving attention, then it will fade away from your mind. It's something like this. Have you seen little babies, when they fall down, they start to cry, right? If the parent or the mother or father see that it is not a big deal of falling, if mother or father did not give any attention to that baby, what does he do? He just don't care about that. He will stop crying. Same thing goes with our mind. If we did not pay any attention to that thought, right? If we did not care about that thought and just let it go and let it pass away from our mind, then it will fade away. That is one way of doing that. If the third step did not work for you, then the Buddha says, go for the fourth step, to relax your thought process, right? Now remember, when you think negative thoughts, your mind becomes so much busy, so much rough and distracted. So, what you're going to do is, you're thinking, why am I thinking these distractive thoughts, these negative thoughts that are making me so much busy and making me distracted, right? So, what you're going to do is, you're relaxing your thought process to something very soft and subtle. Maybe like loving kindness, maybe like compassion, right? Maybe like gratefulness. When you think those thoughts, When you think more positive thoughts, your mind or your thought process becomes so much relaxed. And then if the fourth step did not work for you, then it comes the final step. This is something that we have to do with a great care. I do not recommend for everyone to do this. This should be done with a great experience and a good practice, right? And that is to crush your thought with awareness, right? You have to be totally aware of your thinking pattern and have a good determination to your mind that I am not going to think these negative thoughts, right? But this should not be done by everyone, right? Some may be not good at this, right? If you keep on becoming aware and if you keep on forcing this mind, it will grow more and more these negative thoughts. So if all those 4 steps did not work for you, then you have to go for the final step, right? So it is much better to practice these 4 thoughts before doing the final one, okay? So practice these things. When you practice, you will feel and you will understand that your negative emotions are fading away little by little. Remember, this is not going to happen overnight. It will take a long time to do this, but you have to keep on practicing. Keep on doing it. Make it a habit, and then you will become a master of it. So practice this practice and make your mind a place where free from negative thoughts. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we're going to discuss about the 2 ways of practicing loving kindness meditation. Coming right up. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us there are 2 ways to practice loving kindness meditation. One is Mahaggata Ceto Vimukti, and the other one is Appamana Ceto Vimukti. Mahaggata Ceto Vimukti means the expansive liberation of the mind, and Appamana Ceto Vimukti means limitless liberation of the mind. So we are going to talk about these things. So first of all, let's talk about Mahaggata Ceto Vimukti, how to practice this method of loving kindness meditation. Well, there's a certain way to practice this. First of all, when we look at the word Mahaggata, it means the expansiveness. That means we are expanding our love and kindness from one step to the other, step by step, right? So that is one way. Mahaggata Ceto Vimukti. There's another word. What do you mean by Ceto Vimukti? Ceto means the mind. Vimukti means liberation. So the liberation of the mind in an expansive way. So what do we liberate our mind from? We liberate our mind from anger, hatred, and jealousy, and all the other evil thoughts that is arising inside our mind. So when we do the loving kindness meditation, we practice more love and kindness and compassion. When you practice it, your heart and your mind is liberated from anger, hatred, ill will, jealousy, and other thoughts like that. So that is what we call the liberation of the mind, Ceto Vimukti. So how to practice this Mahaggata Ceto Vimukti? As the first step, we are starting to spread the love and kindness to ourselves. Like you think, may I be free from anger. When you think that, you need to wish it, you need to mean it, and you need to feel it, right? May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from mental suffering, physical suffering. In that way, you start to spread the love and kindness towards yourself first, right? Once you are fulfilled with your own love and kindness, once you are filled with your own loving kindness, then as the next step, we expand our thoughts of loving kindness and we try to spread that love and kindness to the beings around us, right? Maybe if you are if you are doing the meditation in a room, you can consider the room. May all the beings in this room, seen or unseen, may all these beings in this room be free from anger. May they be free from ill will. May they be free from jealousy. Like that, you need to expand your thoughts of loving kindness to the room. Then you can take your home. You can expand the area of your spreading of loving kindness. You can consider your home and you can think, may all the beings in my home be free from anger. You need to spread that love and kindness to the home. Then you can consider your village or city or town that you are living. And take that town, consider from your mind, and then you need to spread your loving kindness towards them equally, right? Now, in every time, remember, when you say that may they be free from anger, you need to mean it and you need to feel it. That is what we need in meditation. If it was just a phrase, now you don't feel it, if you did not feel it, it's not successful, right? So you need to mean it and you need to feel it, right? If you can do that, you're enjoying the meditation and you feel that peacefulness within you. Okay? So we spread the loving kindness to our beings in our city. Then we expand that area to maybe to our country, right? Then we expand that loving kindness to our world, right? This whole earth. And then we can expand our thoughts of loving kindness from our earth to this solar system and to the universe. It is sort of like a ripple, right? It is starting from very little point, that means from yourself, and little by little, from step by step, we are expanding the area of our spreading of loving kindness, right? So from yourself to your room, right? From your room to your home, from your home to your village or city, from your city to your country, from your country to this whole earth, and from your planet to this whole universe. That is the way of spreading loving kindness in Mahagata method, or the expansive liberation of the mind. Then we come to the second step and second way of spreading love and kindness. What is that? Appamana Cheto Vimukti, limitless liberation of the mind. So how to do that? In this way, in this method of meditation, we consider, like we considered about the room and the land area in the Mahagata method, we are considering about the directions of this world. Now, if you are sitting here, then you can imagine the direction, right? You can imagine and you can consider the beings who are living in the northern direction, right? When you consider the northern direction, it is limitless, right? You can consider and you can spread your love and kindness unlimitedly, without any stopping point, without any point, right? Without any ending point to this world. When you consider the northern direction, right? Then you have to think that may all the beings in the northern direction be well and happy. May they live long. May they live in peace. You have to spread that love and kindness to that direction. Then you can go to the northeast direction. You can consider that direction and consider all the beings and each and every living being, right? Small, big, right? Seen or unseen. Each and every living being. Let your love and kindness to spread and reach into those living beings, right? So you spread considering about the direction northeast and then east, then you go to southeast, then southwest, and then northwest. Like that, you consider all the 8 directions, right? North direction, northeast direction, east direction, and then southeast direction, southwest direction, and northwest direction. Consider one direction out at one time and spread your love and kindness by thinking, may all the beings in this direction be free from anger. May they be free from ill will. May they be free from jealousy. Like that, you have to think again and again, right? Then, these are the 8 directions. There are 2 other directions left. What are those 2 directions? The upper direction and the lower direction, right? The beings who are living in upper direction, you can spread your love and kindness to the beings who are living in the upper direction. And then lower direction, from your sitting place to lower, to beneath your sitting place, right? So these are the 10 directions that you can spread the love and kindness. So when you spread your love and kindness in Appamana Cheto Vimukti, or limitless liberation of the mind, it is sort of like a globe that you are spreading love and kindness. So these are the 2 ways that you can practice the loving kindness meditation, right? But remember, these are not so much complicated things, right? Take them as so peaceful and easy things, right? You don't want to make it complicated and so stressful. Just think about them and just spread your loving kindness according to these 2 methods. When you do that, your meditation will be a perfect loving kindness meditation. So practice loving kindness meditation as much as possible and every day, and enjoy an anger and hatred free life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a major problem that many meditators face while doing the meditation: the background noises. So how can we deal with these annoying background noises? Well, there are so many things that you can do to deal with these background noises. Suppose you are living in a noisy environment. Sometimes you don't have the ability to go to a monastery or go to a quiet place and do the meditation. Sometimes you have to do in your apartment. Maybe you're living in the roadside, so you have to do the meditation. When you're living in these noisy environments, when you do the meditation, normally our focus and our attention is dragged by these background noises. So how can we deal with these things? Well, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, you have to know there are 2 types of noises. The first type of noise is the noises that doesn't prevail for a long time. It just come and go. Okay, maybe the sound of a vehicle, maybe a sound a dog is barking, or maybe a sound of an animal. So it doesn't prevail for a long time. And there are some noises, that is the second type of noise, is there are some noises that prevails for a long time. It may be a machinery noise, it may be someone is banging to a nail from a hammer, so it prevails for a long time. So you have to act and you have to deal differently in these 2 circumstances. First of all, let's learn how to deal with the noises that doesn't prevail for a long time, right? So suppose you are meditating. For an example, you are doing the breathing meditation. You are focusing on your breathing pattern. So all of a sudden you hear a loud noise, right? Now, right at the moment you heard the noise, it vanishes away, right? It doesn't prevail for a long time. So, for a split second, your mind jumps out from your focus and it wanders in that noise, thinking about what was that noise, what has happened, right? So you have, first of all, you have to be aware that your mind is not in the meditation, right? You have to know that. Don't chase behind that noise. Don't chase behind that thought, right? So once you become aware that I heard a noise, now my mind is not in the meditation. Now I have to bring back to the meditation. So you just bring back your mind and distracted mind to the meditation again. Okay? So that is how you deal with the noises that prevails for a shorter time period. So let's think that the noise is prevailing for a long time, right? Now, how can we deal with that? Well, first of all, when you're meditating, now in the same way, when you're meditating, you heard the noise. Now it is going to prevail for a long time. Right at the moment when you hear that noise, right, you start to fight with that noise. That is what most of the people are doing, right? They think that, oh, this sound is annoying, now it is disturbing me, now how can I do the meditation? All the times when I'm doing the meditation, this sound comes up. Now you're trying to fight with the sound. Don't fight with the sound, right? There's a saying, it says, what you resist persists. That means if you're resisting something, right? If you are rejecting something from your mind, chances are very high for it to come and haunt your mind again and again. So don't fight with the noise, right? Instead, you just listen to that noise for a little while, right? Suppose the machine started working. Now you hear the noise and you think that it is annoying, right? Don't try to fight with that, right? Don't try to be upset, because you cannot control the noises. These things are out of our control. You have to know that, right? So what you have to do, don't try to focus on the meditation again and again. Don't try to force your mind. First of all, what you have to do, just listen to that noise, right? Listen to that machinery noise for a little while, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter, right? Take your time. When you listen to that noise, when you be with that noise, it becomes a normal experience for you. The more you reject that noise, it becomes new and new again and again for you. So what you have to do, just be with that noise, listen to it for a little while. After it becomes normal noise for you, what you have to do, bring back your mind to the meditation again, right? So after doing that, it becomes a normal noise, so you can focus your mind to the meditation correctly. So that is what you have to do when you are dealing with the noises that prevails for a long time. Now remember, when you are well focused to something, right? When you enjoy something, the distractions, the noises that prevails in the environment doesn't bother you. For an example, when you listen to your favorite song, do you hear any background noises? No. Why is that? Because your mind is well focused to that, you are enjoying it, all the senses are into that song. So same goes with the meditation. Once you enjoy your meditation, once your mind is well focused to it, the background noises is not going to bother you. So what you have to do, just listen to those noises, be with them, be friendly with them, don't hurt yourself, right? Because you have to know that these noises, the things that are happening in the environment, cannot be controlled by yourself. They are out of your control. So what you have to do, when you feel and when you hear the distractions, bring back your distracted mind to the meditation again and again. And that is how we deal with the distractive noises while doing the meditation. So practice the meditation and enjoy a peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to the most famous Buddhist text in this world. Now, if you are new to Buddhism and if you'd like to learn more about Buddhism, this is one of the best books that you can read. So, the book's name is Dhammapada. Now, what is Dhammapada? Dhammapada is a set of verses that was originally preached by the Buddha himself, and this Dhammapada contains 423 verses in it, and these 423 verses are divided into 26 chapters. So why Dhammapada is important? You know, for Hindus we have Gita, and in Christianity we have Bible, and in Islam we have Quran. Same like that, to the Buddhist world we have Dhammapada. Now Dhammapada is not the only text that we have to learn Buddhism. There are many texts, but this is called as the Handbook of Buddhists. Why it is called as Handbook of Buddhists? If you went through 2-3 random pages and if you read on 2-3 verses, you can learn many life advices. You can learn many Dhamma facts about life. So that is why it is called the Handbook of Buddhists. So that is why it is widely used, and this is the most famous Buddhist text in this world. So as an example, if you turn to a random page and if you read a verse, you can find something very valuable. Let's go for that. So in 236th verse, the Buddha says, "Make an island for yourself. Strive hard and become wise. Get rid of impurities and cleanse of stain. You shall enter the celestial abode of the noble ones." It goes like that. So if you turn to another random page and if you read a verse, it goes like this. "The good shine even more afar, like the Himalayan mountain. But the wicked are unseen, like the arrows shot in the night." So if you turn to random pages and if you read, you can gain many life advices and many valuable Dhamma facts. So that is why we have to use this Dhammapada. If you are interested in using this Dhammapada, I will link down some links below that you can find Dhammapada and read it online also. And also there are some links that you can download the PDF file, links down below. So this is the importance of Dhammapada, and that is why it is known as the most famous Buddhist books in this world. So that is the end of this little introduction video. So I hope you found something very valuable to your life. So practice Dhamma and practice good deeds. So I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy forever. Namo Buddhaya. If you are going through stress or anxiety or depression in your life, or if you have a tough time in your life, here is one thing that you have to remember. You are not all alone in this world. Don't think that you don't have help. Don't think that no one is caring about you. The truth is, there are people who can help you and who are willing to help you. All you got to do is just step a little outside and seek for the help from correct people and from the correct places. So when the life throws challenges towards us, when there is tough times in life, we tend to think that we are the only person who is going through depression, anxiety or stress or problems. But the truth is, if you see the world, there are millions and millions of people who are struggling and who are suffering in this life, right? We all struggle in our lives to live in this world, right? So it is not your suffering. It is not only my suffering. It is our suffering. We all are suffering in this world. The Buddha said, where there is birth, there is suffering. That is the reality. But we don't want to think about this suffering as something negative, right? It is not the suffering that makes us negative. It is the perspective that we are holding on to suffering makes us negative, right? So, today, I'm not here to talk about depression and how to quit the depression. Today, I'm going to share with you a simple Buddhist practice that can help you in healing these depressive thoughts or anxious thoughts or any kind of mental suffering that you're having. And this practice is called becoming mindful about your thoughts, right? Becoming mindful about your thoughts. In Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha explains this as Cittanupassana. So how can we practice becoming mindful about our thoughts? It is very simple, right? You can do this practice whenever you want or wherever you want. It is free. You totally have the freedom to do it, right? Here's how we can do this. And when we become mindful about our thoughts, what we are doing is we are not judging our thoughts, and also we are not trying to stop our thoughts, but we constantly become aware of what we are thinking, what comes to our mind. So all you got to do is you can sit down, or you can do this while walking, while traveling in the bus, or wherever you want. Just ask from yourself that, what am I thinking? Then you will come across with these thoughts, right? So what we have to do is, whenever you become depressed, whenever you feel anxious about yourself, whenever you feel sad about something, what you have to do is just notice it. Notice it as a thought. Because most of the time, we judge ourselves by thoughts. We are thinking about ourselves as our thoughts. But remember, you are not your thoughts. When you become more mindful, it gives you this ability to separate yourself from your thoughts, right? So we don't want to judge ourselves by our thoughts. What we are doing is we become mindful. We become more aware of our thoughts without judging. It is very simple. It's like this. It's like you're watching a traffic pass by sitting beside the road. You can see cars are going, you can see bikes are going, vans, buses, cargo carriers. There are so many vehicles that are going. All you're doing is you're just watching them. You're just noticing them, right? But most of the time what happens is we become more afraid about these vehicles and we try to jump into the middle of the road and we are trying to stop these things. Right? That is what you are doing. That is what we are doing when we become depressed or sad. When these sad and depressed thoughts haunt our mind, what we are doing is we are trying to fight it. We are trying to suppress them. We are trying to stop them. The more you try to stop these thoughts, it will come again and again. Remember that. So all you got to do is, we are not going to fight them. We are not going to stop them. We are noticing them, right? You can do this. Just ask this simple question from you. What am I thinking? Then you will find that, oh, my thoughts are depressed. It is not me that is depressed. My thoughts are depressed, right? So what is the nature of a thought? It will come and it will stay for a while in your mind and it will fade away. That is the nature of the thought. So it is just a thought. That means you are not the depression. You are not the anxiety and you are not the stress. Remember, if you feel hopeless, if you feel that you are not good enough, don't believe what your mind always says. You are more capable than you think. You are more good than you think, right? So what is holding back us is this little frame that we are having inside our mind, that I am not good enough. I cannot do these things. I'm not capable of doing these things. I'm hopeless. No one is going to help me. If you change that mindset one day, remember, you can do better and you can do more than you think. So please, don't think that you are not good enough. I repeat again that you are more capable of doing things more than you think, right? So believe in it and work for it. So if you are going through painful situations and if you are having painful memories about yourself, don't run away from them. Don't be afraid of them. Remember, pain is a part of growing, right? If you want to grow, sometimes you have to go through pain. Most of the time you have to go through pain. So if you practice these mindful exercises, and if you seek for the help, and if you do this proper medication for your mental suffering, then one day for sure you are going to be okay. You are going to be happy in your life. And this is the best part of recovering from these traumatic and painful situations. What is that? You can help someone who is in the same place as you were. You can say that, do these things, practice these things, think like this, because I know the pain that you are going through, because I was a person like you. But I am recovered now. You also can recover yourself. So you can inspire others and you can help others. And then you will find the real value of your life. So please do not think that you are not good enough. You're more than enough than you think. So remember these things and practice these things in your life. And I wish you all, may all of you find the real happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, let's talk about how to control these emotions of anger. Well, anger itself is a natural human emotion. We all feel angry. But if we do not know how to control this emotion, if we do not know how to deal with anger, sometimes it can be destructive. And if we let that anger to control over our life, we will get into lots of troubles. So today, I'm going to introduce you a little practice that you can practice in your practical life to deal with this emotion. Well, first of all, I have to remember, none of these practices are easy. In fact, nothing in life that brings us the happiness, that brings the peacefulness to your life is not an easy task. It is a difficult one. Though it is difficult, we cannot abandon it because we like to be happy and we like to be peaceful in our life. So that is why Buddha said that everything that brings the happiness to your life is a difficult task. So what are the things that we can do to deal with these emotions of anger? Well, the first and the foremost thing that you can do to deal with these emotions is to acknowledge that your thoughts are in anger. If you don't know your thoughts are in anger, you cannot deal with it. So this includes the mindfulness, right? Whenever you are about to get angry, whenever you feel that you are triggered by this anger, just ask this question: what am I thinking now? In which mode my thoughts are in now, right? Whenever you ask that question and whenever you answer it, you can find, oh, I'm about to get angry now. Now my thoughts are in anger. That is the first step, to know that you are angry. Then it comes to the second step, right? So in this second step, if you look at this, if I ask a question from you, whenever you feel angry, imagine a situation that you have felt angry about something or someone, right? How your breathing pattern works. How our breathing pattern changes when we feel angry. It speeds up and we take short breaths, right? So that gives the sign to our body, that gives the message to our body that now you're ready for getting angry. We are breathing heavily, we are breathing in short periods, and we are breathing speedily. So the first thing that you can do is to slow down your breathing pattern. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in and let it out. Slowing down the breathing pattern will help you to calm your body and calm your mind, right? Whenever we feel calm and when we are about to take a rest, what is the thing that we do? For an example, after a long day of work, when you come home and after having a good shower, if you fell on the couch, right? If you fell on the bed, what is the first thing that you do? You take a deep breath in and let it out. That is the thing that you do. That means you are giving the signal to your body that you're about to get calm or to have a rest. So the thing that we have to do, whenever we feel angry, whenever we feel we panicked, just give the message to your body that be calm by taking 2 to 3 deep breaths in and out, right? So breathing can help you a lot. Then as the third step, now you're a little bit peaceful and calming. Now you can wisely reflect on your thought pattern. When you reflect about your thoughts, you can find, why did I become angry with this person? What is that? Then you can find that anger does not prevail in an outer world, in that person or that thing, a specific thing. Anger prevails in my mind, right? It is something that I have created. Whenever you come to a situation that you are triggered to be angry, you come up with these two choices, either to react with negativity or to respond with positivity. That is up to you, right? And your experiences and your good and bad experiences depends on these choices that you make. So you totally have the power and you totally have the privilege to respond with positivity, right? So you have to believe in patience for that. Remember, there is nothing in this world, there is no problem in this world that has been solved with anger. That is why Buddha said, anger does not cease by anger, or hatred does not cease by hatred. Hatred is ceased by love and kindness only. So you have to believe in patience and compassion and forgiveness. That is the way that you're going to solve the problem, right? Though you react in anger, though you yell out or scream or take actions with anger, that is not going to help. That is not going to solve the problem. It will make the problem even more worse. I have seen lots of people who could not control their anger for a split second. Just because they could not control their anger for a split second, now they are regretting for their whole life. So remember, anger is not going to help you. So when you believe in patience and kindness and compassion, you will have this strength to face that situation more positively. Remember what Buddha said. The Buddha said, before you do something from your body, from your speech, or from your mind, just wisely reflect that what I'm going to do, is this worthy of doing? Is it bringing happiness to myself, or is it bringing happiness to others? Is it going to hurt others, or is it going to hurt myself? If it is hurting you and if it is hurting to other self, do not try to do it. Remember, it is okay that we feel angry sometimes in our mind, but it is not okay to let that anger to flow out from our bodily actions and our words, right? So remember, this is how we can control it. Always believe in patience and kindness. That is where you're gonna solve the problems. So this is a little practice where we can deal with these emotions of anger. So practice these practices little by little and make your life a peaceful one. Namo Buddhaya. Are you stuck in the past memories and regretting about what you have done in the past? Well, today we are going to talk about how to deal with miserable and painful past memories. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. Today we are going to talk about how to deal with past memories. They are the memories that are holding us back and destroying our present moment and our future. So how can we deal with these past memories? First of all, I will tell you a nice story. In the Buddha's time, there was a murderer. Now, he wasn't just a murderer, he was a serial killer. He killed thousands and thousands of people. And do you know what he did to those dead people? He cut a finger from each one of them and he made a garland out of that fingers. And he wore that garland around his neck. So his name was Angulimala, the person who wears the garland of fingers. With the help of the great Supreme Buddha, he became an innocent person again. Before becoming a serial killer, he was just an innocent boy. But with the bad companionship, he became a serial killer. So with the Buddha's help, he became an innocent person again, and he became a monk. After that, he realized the teachings of the Buddha and he became enlightened. The reason for his enlightenment was he did not let his past to define who he is, right? He did not regret about what he has done in the past. Instead, he focused on the present moment. The Buddha advised Angulimala, after becoming a monk, think of yourself as a newly born person, a new person, and do not let your past to define who you are. So he did meditations and he practiced the path of the Buddha and he became enlightened. So that was the little story. So what we can take from this little story? If you're holding onto the past and if you're letting your past to define who you are, right, you will never be the person that who you want to be. So remember, mistakes can happen by anyone. We make mistakes. That is why we are known as humans. Okay? So mistakes can happen. Even the good people make mistakes. That doesn't mean that they need to suffer and they need to regret about the things for the whole life, right? We make mistakes, and what we have to do, we have to focus on the present moment. Think of yourself, now I have done a mistake in the past, but now what should I do to become a good person? When you think of that, you're focusing on the present moment. That is what you have to do. Every time you're regretting about the past memories, the things that has happened in the past, you are touching the wound of yourself. You know, the miserable moments that has happened in the past is like a wound. It takes time to heal. So if you keep on touching into that wound, it will never be healed. So what you have to do? Should you forget the past? Of course not. You should not forget the past. and you cannot forget the past. Remember, the more you try to forget the past, the more it will haunt your memories again and again. So what you have to do, you have to let your miserable and painful past memories to just fade away from your life, right? So to do that, you should not give much attention to the past miserable, painful memories, right? When we are not giving any attention to something, chances are very high for it to fade away from our memories. So what you have to do, just do not give any attention to those past memories, okay? And that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us in Baddhekaratta Sutta, Atitang nanva gameya nappati kanke anagatang. Do not dwell on the past. Nappati kanke anagata. Do not dream too much on the future. Yadati tang pahinatang apattancha anagatang. The past has gone now. It is over. And the future hasn't yet come. And Buddha said, Paccupannancha yo dhammang tattha tattha vipassati. You have to focus on the present moment and do what is right here, right now. So do not let the past to define who you are, and focus on the present moment and think, what can I do to become a better person now? Admit your faults. Learn from your past. Do not make it a wound and a painful situation. Just learn from it, right? And then you can think, what should I do to become a better person right here, right now? Right? When you do the good things and when you do the right thing in the present moment, your past will be a good one and your future will be also a good one. So what you have to do, you only own this present moment. Always keep it in your mind, right? The moment that you only own is this moment, right? In the past, what has happened in the past, you cannot control it. What is going to happen in the future, you have no control about that. What you have in your hand is this present moment. So focus on the present moment, do the good things, be a good person, and your future will be a better one, your past will be a better one also. So practice the Buddha's teachings and stay in the present moment. Namo Buddhaya.